guys, welcome back to Active Minds Breaking Barriers podcast. As you know, I am your host, Nicole Russell, and this is episode 5. I was going to put up 10 fingers. And I'm just so excited that I have the opportunity to share my journey, not just my journey, but empower other students, have faculty and staff come on this podcast and let us know about resources that is available for students to be successful within their college journey, not just successful, building self-esteem, confidence, and public speaking. We need that in jobs. So, and I'm learning that along the way, to be honest. I never saw myself doing this, but hey, if I'm here, I'm definitely fulfilling my destiny that God has prepared for me. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. And I also want to thank everyone that has been watching this podcast. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing this content. I really appreciate you guys. So let's get into it. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Miss Lisa Maycock, our esteemed representative from the Center for Students with Disabilities at York College. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys a little bit more about her. Miss Lisa Maycock is a results-driven academic professional with extensive experience in disability services within higher education and the middle and high school setting. With a passion for fostering inclusive academic environments, she has dedicated her career in ensuring students with disabilities receive the support, accommodations, and advocacy they need to thrive. Ms. Lisa's commitment to accessibility began with her work at the New York City Department of Education, where she played a crucial role in supporting students with disabilities, ensuring compliance and disability laws, and coordinating accommodations for middle and high school students. Her experience in this sector laid a strong foundation for her transition into higher education, where she continues to advocate for students at all levels. As a disability accommodation specialist at York College, City University of New York, also known as CUNY, since 2009, Lisa has been instrumental in assessing student eligibility, implementing tailored accommodations, and connecting students with vital resources. She is a proactive leader working to optimize ADA compliance, streamline enrollment processes, and advocate for students from diverse backgrounds, including veterans and adult learners. As a dedicated mentor and leader, Ms. Lisa has supervised student assistance, advised the CUNY Coalition for Students with Disabilities at your college, CCSD, period, and including the CUNY Council on Student Disability Issues, the New York State Disability Services Council, and the Veteran Task Force. Her work has directly influenced disability policy development and student success initiatives. Ms. Lisa Maycock is an active member of the AHEAD, also known as Association on Higher Education and Disability, and continually engaging in professional development in areas such as crisis response, assistive technology, disability laws, and diversity and inclusion. She holds a Bachelor of Arts in Human Services from SUNY Empire State College and remains deeply committed to promoting accessibility, equity, and empowerment in education. Period. Welcome, Miss Lisa. I'm so excited to have you here. How are you doing?
Excited. I'm honored, and I'm very excited about being on this program. Go,
Me
Nicole.
too.
Nicole. That's why I say go, Nicole. You're doing an excellent job. I hope I can fulfill what's required for this interview. So I'm very excited about doing it. That's for sure.
Me too. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna get straight into it. The first question is, can you give us an overview of the Center for Students with Disabilities and the services you provide to students at your college?
Well, thank you for that question. So, what we provide at the Center for Students with Disabilities is accommodations for students with documented disabilities. And some of the things we provide is as extra time for exams, a separate low distraction area for testing, note-taking aids such as digital recorders, smart pens, and
Uh-huh.
Art AI, which records and transcribes notes as well. And we also have sign language interpreters for deaf and hard of hearing students. That's just some of the accommodations we provide.
Okay, okay. Thank you for that. Um, On to the next. What are some misconceptions students have about seeking support from CSD?
Well, some of the misconceptions students have when they seek support is that it's going to go on their academic record, it's going to go on their diploma when they graduate, or it's going to follow them once they graduate into the workforce. So that is totally not true. The accommodations you receive are confidential. If you decide to sign up with CSD, the Office of Center for Students with Disabilities, which is here at York College, or any college for that matter that has an office for accessibility, you sign up with us. For instance, if the student requires extra time for tests, separate location testing, that would be either 1.5 or double time. Once we
Okay,
sit down, once the student provides documentation, um,
right.
need accommodations, we will sit with them, meet with them, and then we will send letters out to all of the students' professors. And when the professors get the letters, only thing they're going to get is that, look, the students connected to our office, and these are the accommodations they receive. Do not
Okay,
disclose personal information about the students to our professors. Okay, we don't do that. Okay,
okay.
yes.
I know you said a little bit about how to register, but um, in depth, this is another question that is gonna follow up with that. What is the process like for a student to register with CSD and receive accommodations?
Okay, so I'm happy to share that starting January 2nd, we use this system called Accommodate, right? It's a
Okay,
platform called Accommodate. And I'm very happy to share that not only your college use it, but all the CUNY schools use the same platform as far as getting a.
okay.
So if the students decide they want to take like a e-permit class or another class at another CUNY, it's pretty seamless. They can reach out to that office, and it's a
Uh-huh.
seamless experience. Starting on the 2nd of January, Accommodate was launched. And how a student will use Accommodate is that they can log on to the CUNY website and just type in Accommodate, and it will pop up, and then they can go in and making a request to
Okay.
receive services through our program. Okay. And also we can check our website on York College website, well, our website in particular, and click on the website or just do a search, go to your college, and then just do a search with the magnifying glass and just put in CSD. And that's another way you can register for services as well, or get in contact with someone for a meeting for services. And once
Okay.
we do that, then we'll sit down and meet. We'll go over your documentation, and we'll decide on your accommodations. And on one size does not fit all, so it's based on your
Got it.
documentation and what you're looking for as far as accommodations.
Thank you so much. How does CSD support students beyond academic accommodations such as career development, mental health, or campus engagement?
Okay, so let's take career development first. So in
Sure.
addition to providing accommodations to our center, we also have a program called the CUNY Leads program, LEADS. And the purpose of CUNY Leads is to connect students with internships, jobs, resume
Okay.
support, and other things. So it's a very important because sometimes students decide when they graduate college, maybe they want to start working. So CUNY Leads assist in working on the resume, Maybe they need a reference letter. Perhaps they need to do sessions on how to do an interview, get through an interview process. So they provide, and maybe some job leads for jobs. So CUNY leads provide all the information. And for students who decide that they're going to grad school, because some students they graduate, your college or any college, and decide they want to go to grad school, CUNY leads also assist with that. They'll help out in forming your statement.
Oh,
Because when you apply for grad school, you have to write a statement. You have to have like reference letters from your professors or someone in the office, and our leads advisor, Dr. Chua Wagner, I didn't say his name earlier, he can provide that information for you. He can do a letter of recommendation. He can help you
okay.
colleges, research different schools to go to. He'll help you with your statement that you have to write to submit to um, other professors. Not professors, submit to
The
the
school?
school that you're interested in going to, because it's a process
Mm-hmm.
that you got to apply, you got to submit some documentation, and some other things. And once that's submitted, then you're good. Then you have to hear back from the college that you applied for. But the unique
Right.
why it's on my mind. So once you go to grad school, you can get accommodations in grad school. A lot of people don't know that, right? So once you graduate 4 year, you get your bachelor's or your degree. Then once you get accepted to a grad school, you can still have accommodations for grad school and
Oh, I didn't know that.
for work too. So when you graduate, and for instance, if you need to have you're low vision or legally blind or blind, this that's just an example. When you go to a job, they are required, especially if they're beyond a certain number. It's a threshold. But if it's a big organization, they're required to give you accommodations, right? So they may need a screen reader to read the screen. They may need other resources in the office so they can get their job done with those accommodations, right? It's not a
Okay.
handout because the person still has to be qualified for the job, but the accommodations will make them equal to their fellow worker so they can
Mm-hmm.
accomplish the work. Okay. So, so,
Yes.
so you can think about it for now and later. Now you asked me another question. You asked me a question about
Um, Career development and then mental health.
well, mental health. We try to do workshops around mental health. We have quite a few workshops. We're connected to NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Health. We've done workshops
Yes.
called In Our Own Voice, which is an excellent workshop that they give, and they share their own personal perspective on with mental illness. And it goes from beginning to the end. It goes through when they first got started having mental health situations. They call it the dark days, and then when they started getting help, it gets brighter, and then they talk about where they are now. It's a very
Okay.
I love their presentations. I don't know if you had a chance. I believe you went to one
I
last year.
did. It was very empowering.
It's very empowering, and it's nice to hear from someone who's been in it, their experience and where they are now. So this year we're going to have them back yet. I haven't secured the date yet, but I'm going to because their presentations are very informative and beneficial for our students. And also, we refer students to different resources on the campus. For instance, we refer students to the counseling center for
Yes.
when students are having mental health situations on campus, which happens quite often. We refer them because they have outside stressors, and then they have their schoolwork stressors, and then they're working, and
Mm-hmm.
they try to students juggle so much, right? So sometimes they do need assistance from the counseling center, so we refer them there, and we also refer out like what's it called, Blueprint, like
Yes.
it's another organization
Blueprint
that
is
we
pretty good.
use. What Blueprint does is an organization that is funded by the Department of Mental Health right here in New York. And what they do is they help you with the academics, getting through academics as far as your coursework, navigating the college campus, navigating the different offices on campus to assist you to get through your courses and get through college. And this
Yes.
organization specifically deals with students that have a mental health diagnosis specifically. So we found them to be very helpful. We have a few students that are utilizing their services, and it's free, don't cost anything. And it's been able to keep them on track to graduate from college.
Thank you. And also the last part of that question was campus involvement. What how do CSD support students beyond just academic? So how do CSD support students during campus involvement?
Well, campus involvement, I can happy to say that I am student advisor for the CUNY Coalition for Students with Disabilities here at York College. The audience,
Yeah.
I got Vice President, Miss Nicole Russell is the Vice President of the club. And through this vehicle, which is this club, we have been engaged with much on-campus activities as far as events are concerned. And so I can give you some examples. Like last semester, we hosted a first generation and college event here at York College, and Club Funds financed this event. It was very nice. We had a band perform. We had students speak about their experience being first gen, um,
Yeah,
music and food, and it was
it
a
was
nice time.
fun.
So, because the purpose of that event is to highlight first gen students because they have their unique situation on the college campus, and they are carrying on their shoulders their sisters and brothers, their parents. They're all depending on them to get to be successful. And when you have that on your shoulders, sometimes it can be very it can cause anxiety. It can be very heavy. So we're
Right.
celebrating them during this time. This is time we're celebrating them. So so that's one event we gave. We gave a movie event, Unseen Movie Event,
Unseen.
which is a
Yes.
movie that kind of chronicled the life of a blind person who was in the pursuit of getting his degree in social work. We partnered with the social work club on this, and that movie was very. It was a very. I learned a lot from that movie, and
Yes.
the students enjoyed that his journey, show his journey. How we, and I think he was undocumented. He was undocumented as well.
Yes, he was an
How he went
undocumented
getting that straight,
immigrant.
get that straightened out, and then he had to graduate from getting his master's degree in social work, which he ended up doing. And he's blind. He's blind. He has a disability, so he had all these pieces that he was going through doing the same film. It was very good movie, and we learned a lot from it. And that's just one example on doing inclusive things on campus to break the stigma around disability, which it is a stigma about disability on campus. But we're constantly working to turn the tide by giving events. And one other event we did was a movie. We did it just a regular movie, just a quiet place.
A
Very fun.
place.
And the heroine, one of the main characters in A Quiet Place, she's deaf and she wears hearing aid, and she proved to be the hero is our heroine or hero is or the main you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And it was good. It was well attended by all students. So that's just some things that we do to involve our students on campus, but not only disability students, but the students on the whole entire campus to um
Yes.
to take part in our events.
Thank you so much. And my favorite event, to be honest, was the first gen event last year. It made such a great impact on the school, and we had like professors and different staff members coming in and just enjoy the moment, dancing, food. Yeah, it was fun.
Yes, yes.
Um, the next question is, are there any workshops, programs, or initiatives that students should be aware of?
Yeah, so we have a few workshops. We have one that's happening tonight, actually. It's a movie screening, because about different persons with disabilities. It's a film, a short film series, and that's going to be hosted by Dr. Truett Wagner, the CUNY Leads person I spoke about earlier.
Earlier.
Next week, we're very excited due to the club once again, CCSD at York. We're hosting, which is April 1st. We're hosting a disability awareness or celebration kickoff because CUNY is April. It's CUNY Disability Awareness Month. So we're going to kick off that month with a celebration upstairs in our atrium area upstairs. And we're going to have mixed ability dancers. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have a chorus going to be singing. We have student performers and food and fun and entertainment. Because it's
Mm,
always important to highlight Disability Awareness Month, and how we're going to try, we're involving the whole campus on this to bring awareness about persons with disabilities here on campus and persons with disabilities in general to break the stigma when it comes around disability. So this is why we always try to have events to encompass the whole campus.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Lisa. Next question. What laws and policies should students know about regarding their rights to accommodations?
Okay, so we're under the reason why our office is exists is because the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Maybe.
Yeah. So that gives us that before that law came into effect, it's two laws. It's Disabilities Act and also Section 504 Act as well. Those two laws, before those laws came into to came into being, students used to come and they used to, like for instance, if a person was blind and they were looking for accommodations, they would have to get their own braille books. They have to get their own recorder to record the lectures, and
Oh,
the Supreme Court said that was unjust because they're not equal as the other students. They're not
right.
they're not equal. So our office came to being because of that. Um, when a blind person comes to us now, if Braille is needed, I think they've it's gotten updated since that time. I don't know if people use Braille, but if the student required Braille, we would have to get his books made in Braille. So, like his chemistry books, his textbooks have to be in Braille. If he needed a recorder, we would have to make sure the student had a recorder to record the lectures so they can listen to it outside of the classroom. We have to make sure that there's someone there to assist him with when it takes taking an exam. So he may need a note taker, or he may need someone to sit down with him as he's taking his test to serve as a scribe to make sure they can scribe the answers for him as the person tells them the answers. The student dictates the answer, right? That's just a small set of why it's important that our office, how the ADA made our office accessible for everybody. And the purpose is that to make a level playing field. It's not to give someone an academic advantage, it's to level the playing field. Because if the student didn't have all these things in place, the student would be at a disadvantage to his peers. He
Right.
and the students would be up there. And that's not how
Right.
it's supposed to be equal, right? So once those things in place, it's up to the students to do their work. They still have to submit their work, turn in assignments, take exams to get through the class. They have to do what they have to do, but it has to be here, right? It has to be equal. So that's the purpose of accommodations in higher ed. That's why we provide accommodations to get them an equal playing field to get through their academic experience here at York College, but across colleges across the nation. Because if you're receiving federal funds, you have to make sure that you have an Office of Accessibility or
Right.
something similar so they can get those accommodations.
Agree. Thank you so much for going in depth. Um, Next question. How can faculty and staff better support students with disabilities in and outside the classroom?
Okay, so in the classroom, the faculty and can support our students by, and which they do, they're very good at that at York College by honoring the accommodation requests. As stated previously, once we meet with a student, we send out accommodation letters to the professors stating that the student is registered by the program and these are the accommodations. For instance, they need extra time to take their tests, separate location testing. So the professors are highly connected in this. It's like it's a student, our office, and professor. We had to work together to provide these accommodations. For instance, so if the students require
Right.
to have their test taken through our center, the professor have to make sure that we have the exam, right, to give to the student. So that's a smooth process. Our office has the exam. We get the exam to the student. We return the exam to the professor. So it's a network, and that if that network is broken, then it won't. The student will suffer in the end. So when the professor works with us collaboratively, that's a good thing. And which happens, I must say, here at your college, our professors are very cooperative when it comes to accommodating our students. And a second thing would be helpful for professors to do is on their syllabi, put a statement that if any student requires accommodations or need accommodation, please reach out to our office, which is CSD.
CSD.
Very helpful because some students don't know about our office, even though we go
Right.
to different classes, we do presentation at new student orientation. Some students still don't know what our office does. So, having said that, if the professor will put something on their syllabus stating if you require accommodations, please reach out to the Center for Students with Disabilities and our information there. Some professors do, and some professors don't, because it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory. But we're trying to really rally around these. We're trying to meet with professors to encourage them to put a little a statement.
Yeah.
Syllabi or syllabi, and just so students can come to our office. It's just a way to advertise, let them know that they're inclusive. We're being inclusive of the class and everything. And the last thing they do, which they do a very good job at this too at your college, they refer students to our program because they're in the classroom, and a lot of
They
times
see.
things before we even do because we're not sitting in
Yes.
students. So they refer students to our classroom, and if they continue that, that would be great. That would be great. What you're doing, they're doing a good job. But so if they continue that, that's such a good thing to do. That way, the student will make sure we get the student what they need for their
Yeah.
accommodations in place.
The network, it's like a three-party network.
We can't do it without
Yeah.
one can't work without the other. It's the student, it's our office, and then the professors, right? It's like a network. It's like a team. We're a team because we can't do anything without the professors. We can't do anything without the students self-advocating for accommodations, which they have to do. We can go to class, we can do class presentations, we can do new student orientation, but the student has to self-identify for services. So the student has to first make the move to self-identify for request services to our program. We have to we have to meet with them and send out the proper paperwork to the professors. And then after that, the professors have to, honor it by, which they do, by providing the necessary support or like the test. That's an example. The test the student needs to take if they have testing accommodations for the class. You know. Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, how does CSD work to ensure that your college remains an inclusive and accessible environment for all students? You spoke earlier about CSD at York, which is the club, um, and more stuff. Would you like to elaborate more?
All right. So what we do, we have an open door policy in our office, for instance. So when you come to our office, it's students with or without disabilities in our office, right? Because when you live your life, right, you don't just
Yes.
chill with disability students. That's it. No, you don't have no life outside of that. That's not realistic, right? So we have an very open policy for students to come in and out of our office, whether or not you have a disability. We also all our programming we do. Most of our programming is extended to all students on the whole campus, right? So all students are invited to participate in our programming here on campus as well. We do like
Okay.
events and meetings and things of that nature. We did a multicultural event this past summer actually, and it's open to everyone. Multicultural.
Yeah.
Um, we do a final exam jam, right? CSD, a final exam jam to prepare students for finals. And that's open to everybody, not just students with disabilities. So we're very inclusive of everybody on campus to come to our events, and we're very welcoming to everyone, to all students, all students. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So, guys, don't be shy to stop by. We don't bite. It's very fun over here. Okay. So, next question is, what advice would you give to students who may feel hesitant or unsure about reaching out for support?
My advice is for them to fight that hesitancy, and to reach out directly to us sooner than later, right? Because we like to get you at the very beginning of the semester, as opposed to when you're not doing well in classes and you have other issues going on, and some of those things may have been prevented if you reached out sooner. So please
Okay.
reach out to us. To sit down with us to see if you can benefit from our accommodations. Like I said before, if you need any information regarding our program, please just go to the CSD website at York College and then look up how to register for accommodations tab and just go and just take the first steps and you won't regret it. Take the first steps and then we'll meet with you. And
Okay.
if you're not at York, maybe at another CUNY, just go to the CUNY website itself and look up accommodate. That is the platform that all CUNYs are using, and go ahead and
Yes.
accommodate and start that process to request accommodations. That's what I suggest. And like I said, as I stated previously, it's not, it won't follow you. It won't be on your transcript. It's not separate classes, 'cause I heard that before. You're in a class with all the other students.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that. You're in a class with all the other students like everybody else, and then you just have to take your, maybe you get testing accommodations, and you'll come down and take your tests, and then, it's not, it won't show up on your transcript. It won't be on your diploma. It won't follow you once you leave, once you graduate school. But you do know this, and there's another little tidbit I'm gonna give you. You can get accommodations for state and city tests. People don't know that. You get accommodation for like the social work test, the nursing exam, any exam. Most
Okay.
exams you can get accommodations for, and a lot of students don't know that, right? Once they graduate, once they go further outside of college, right? You can get accommodations for those things as well. But just please take the first steps. Take the first steps, sign up, and we'll take it from there. You can meet with us. It'll be a good experience for you.
Okay. Thank you. Are there student organizations or peer supports networks that work alongside CSD to help create a sense of community?
Yeah. So there's different clubs. I mentioned CCSD at York
Sure.
Club, but there's a club. There's a club, a whole building, an office that does clubs and support clubs. So we have many clubs here on campus. Also, we do have a peer network here. That's if you need a peer person, sometimes you need a peer. Sometimes you do better with someone your own age to help you through the college process. There is
Mhm.
a peer center here to assist you with that as well. So just please just come by, drop by 1G02, and just have a conversation with us, and we can connect you with the resources that you need. And we also connect to like the tutoring center, the collaborative learning center, or the tutoring center here. We connect students to different to oh, we have some students that are have food insecurity. We connect them to the pantry that's run through the women's center. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
resources here at your college that we will love to connect our students to, but they have to sit down and let us know what they're going through when it comes to stuff like that. Sometimes students don't say anything; they're very quiet. They don't
Yeah,
they be going through things, right? So you have to just have a seat, just trust us, and we can connect you with the resources here in college. And sometimes they say, "I didn't know this was here. I didn't
that
know."
existed.
But the only way to know is to come to talk to someone and to find out what's available for them to get them through these times, because it's hard times now. It's very hard times now. So just please just reach out to us, and we'll connect you in the right direction.
Thank you so much. One thing I also wanted to add on to what you said, the Women's Center also helps with us getting benefits such as SNAP, MetroCard. What else they help with? If you're undocumented, LGBTQ, and also there's a citizenship now office on campus that helps you to work on your basically the status, your what should I say? Your immigration status in the country, yes. So I just wanted to add those
Yeah,
points.
that's a nice addition, Nicole, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
resources here on campus. And students don't really take advantage of. They don't take advantage of it because, sometimes
No.
you get so bogged down on what you have to do, just going to class, trying to study, and you have outside responsibilities because many students, they work, they have jobs,
Yes.
kids, they have families. Because we don't only have students that's right out of high school. We have students of all ages here at York.
Yeah.
Friends. We have students who've been out of school for a number of years, deciding to come
And
back.
coming back.
In addition to the students, of course, that graduate from high school that come into college. So we have a mixture of different students and different backgrounds and different stages of their life or different ages that are at your college. So, and there's a lot of resources here that students need to take advantage of. And you mentioned some very good ones. Thank you.
Problem. Thank you. What does your self-care routine look like? How do you prioritize self-care while supporting students? I
Well,
want to know that.
yes, self-care is very important. I had to learn the hard way about that, Nicole. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? So before I used to work, 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 work. I never really took time off for myself. I never did anything, fun. My whole life revolved around work, right? And that really set me back a few years back. So I learned now to try to prioritize myself as well, right? You can
Yes,
easily with that. Um,
true.
and so what I do to try to put things in perspective is I like going. I do like going to the spa. You know, I like going to I like spa days. I roller skate. Did you know that, Nicole?
No.
I like skate. And I also like to go on cruises. I like to go on cruises. You know, so
Um,
you have to kind of carve out time for yourself. You got to do that. And one thing I have to learn. I'm still learning. I've gotten better. Is to say no, right? You can't say yes to everything, right? You cannot say yes. I need to put no in my mouth. No, no, no. No, no should be a part of our vocabulary. Now, you don't want to say no to everything, but you have to remember if your plate is full, your plate is
you
full.
can't.
Don't be
Yeah.
extra stuff, right? So I had to learn that, and I think everybody, has to learn that at some time in their life, and I've learned that, right? So that's part of your self care, right? Learning how to say no to certain things. Make sure you get enough rest. You
Yes.
eat well. You do things that's fun for you. Like I like to roller skate. You like to go on cruise
Yeah.
spas. Everybody has things that they like to do on their leisure. Um,
Sure.
and I think you should always carve out time for that because if something happened to me tomorrow, right, they're gonna still keep
True.
moving, and that's of any job. They want to keep it moving, right?
You
You
so right, Miss Lisa.
thought, right? You think about you 1 minute, then they moved on. So you have to prioritize yourself and your self care. That's very important.
Respect that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Um, if a student listening wants to connect with CSD, what's the best way for them to get started?
Okay, so they can. Well, I'm gonna give you the number. So if you want to call CSD, the number is 718-262-2191. We're located on 1G02, which is downstairs, the first floor, adjacent to the what's that, student government office, and then
Mm-hmm.
the counseling office, right? So we're right there. You can come by the office. You can call. I gave you the number, or you can go right to the website, which is CSD. So you go to the York site first, and then you just search CSD within that, and it'll come up. The page will come up. Okay. All right. So those are options for you to reach out to us and everything. And I hope you do. We really hope you do. I'm gonna give you a hug. And if you tell me that it's because of this podcast, you get two hugs. I'll be
You're
happy.
so funny, Miss Lisa.
And thank you for having me on this call because I think it's a way to get the message out about disability services.
Yes.
We dispelled a lot of myths around disability services. So this is a very important podcast. And Active Minds, I have to give them a shout out. This is
Yes, for
a
real.
organization, a good organization to be connected with, and I'm hoping that more students join Active Minds. You're the pioneer, you're the trailblazer at York, so I'm hoping to pick up some more students for this, to join this very important organization.
Yes.
So I
It's really
understand
nice.
you're having some kind of event in Washington D.C. Yeah,
Yes, I am. The conference.
that's exciting.
I'm excited to go there to like meet new people that actually like what I do because I feel like sometimes when I talk about mental health to other people, it's like a side eye, but they don't realize the importance of it. But I'm really excited to meet Marky and the rest of the other people, students that are part of activities.
That's exciting.
Very good.
Yes, yes. I hope we have a great conference. And like I said again, if you want services, please come through. Roll through. We'll sit down and talk to you. Just please come through to CSD at your college. And if you have any questions, just please reach out to CSD. Also have an email, csd@york.cuny.edu. Just please send us an email.
Please don't hesitate, guys. They're here to help you. And this Miss Lisa is actually my mentor. She helped me a lot. When I first came to the office, I just came there to literally get the services. But being around these professionals have molded me in a way that I'm looking at myself like, where's Nicole? I mean, she's still here, but it's like a different version of myself have been really revealed. And I'm grateful for you, Miss Lisa. You've really helped me with a lot, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. I thank God for you so much.
I know how to do an emoji. I would give you an emoji, but I don't know how to do it on this platform. But Nicole, I've seen you do like a 360 since we met, and you've taken my advice, which I'm grateful for, and I've really seen the transformation in you. And I wish you the best for your future endeavors. I have great hopes for you once you graduate, because you're on the cusp. You're almost graduating, right? And I have great, I have faith in you, and be
Yes.
successful at whatever you do, right? Because you're a go getter, and you're on point with your everything you do, and I just see great success moving forward.
Thank you so much. You have contributed to that. So, hey,
Oh my
I'm
goodness,
just so happy, Miss Lisa.
I'm gonna cry.
Thank you so much for your time, your participation
All
on
right.
ACT Podcast, and continue doing your destiny work, to be honest. You're fulfilling it. Just keep going, and we're grateful for you always. You know that for sure.
I'm so kissing. Okay, all right. I will hug you here. Okay. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so
All
much.
right,
Very
no
wonderful.
problem. You too.
All
Get home
right.
safe. Bye.